then he is also Gunatit. Gunatit means he doesn't belong to the left side or to the right side or to the center. He is beyond these three, beyond these gunas, where he stands and sees everything in the divine light. Everything. If something good happens to him, he said the divine light has done. If something bad happens to him, he said the divine light wanted this way. Everything he leaves for the divine light. He is beyond the gunas. Like supposing there is a person who is on the right side, egoistical. Then he'll start saying, how is it? I wanted this didn't work out, and how. He'll challenge. Another will start crying, the left-sided one, that I'm very sorry, this has happened to me, it should not have happened. And all. Or in the center also, he might think that, how far are my vibrations, how could I not know, and all that. But a person who is a real guru, he looks at it as a drama, as just a witness of the drama. It happened, it was to happen, so it has happened. Now what do we get out of it? Is we get something, the lesson, that this was not right, or this was wrong. That's all. For that moment, not to go on churning in your head. That's all one gets, and is not bothered about anything else. So he goes beyond his gunas. Beyond gunas, he lives. He eats anywhere, sleeps anywhere. He is not bothered where he lives. He is not bothered whether he goes by car or he goes by bullock cart. He doesn't feel he is being not honored if they give him a garland of few flowers. It's not there. He is not bothered because nothing can enhance his personality. Nothing. You give them something simple, it's all right. Or even if you don't give, it's all right. It's not he judges himself through your eyes, but he judges himself through his own eyes. And he sees for himself the joy of enjoying himself. What is there to be so particular about anything? What is so great to be hankering after anything? It just works out in its own time. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. What does it matter? Just think of it. Also, in Sahaja Yoga, a guru has to be a binding force. There are two types of people I've seen, which go on breaking relations. It's very easy for them. They go on complaining. But there are others who have a power to bind people together in such a manner, in such a sweet manner, that the people are brought closer together. Not that they have to forgive, it automatically works out. Just works out like that. And people go on joining such a man. I was surprised that in America there was very, very few Sahaja Yogis. We spent, they said, $50,000 and got 50 Sahaja Yogis. 1,000 for one Sahaja Yogi in America. So, very bad shape. But still, you see, we have to hope for them because there are lots of seekers and lost in the wilderness of seeking. But I thought that maybe it's a circle. They have to pass through this circle of stupidity and then definitely they will see the point. And it has happened. We had about 4,000 people for my lecture. which never has happened there in that country. Nobody has got such a lot of audience, they said. But still, not many came, but they got their realization. So I think gradually, even in America, it may start going. And the Sahajogis must not only worry about their houses and where they live and all that, but go all out to them. I would say some of the Sahajogis who could afford to go should go to America and work out this outside work. Maybe if there are outsiders who come and talk about Sahaja, they might be impressed. There are so many false gurus that you can't count them. And they have accepted them. It's very surprising. Though they have suffered, they have lost in money, everything, still they have accepted, after all, he's our guru. So there's basically something wrong with their brains, that they don't understand what is to be expected. I have written one book, perhaps it may reach them, but in any case, you all can write your experiences and things and can publish it. Maybe it might help them to open their eyes. While writing anything, you have to remember that it should show your quality of Sahaja, how you are. In that, one should not feel that you are putting them down or trying to say some things which will hurt them. But say it in such a manner that it corrects them and helps them. For a guru, it is important that he should not have any false ideas about himself. He might be from a poor family, might be from the rich family. Whatever it is, he should not be conscious of that. Because once you become that, see, look at Kabira, he was just a weaver. Look at Raidas, he was just a, what do you call that, shoemaker. See, in India, these are very low caste supposed to be. He has written beautiful poetry. Then Namadeva, he was a tailor. Just think of that. All these people have written the same thing with such great beauty of poetry. How have they achieved? Because now they have entered into that great realm of spirituality. You people also write some very good poetry, I know. But some of the people who have written good poetry turned out to be very obstinate, very egoistical people. This is something I couldn't understand. You are writing here beautiful poetry and here you are full of ego. So from where this poetry is coming, God knows. So first of all is yourself, your personality has to be something that people should say, this is the real guru we have met. For that, you know very well you don't have to give up your family, don't have to give up anything. But ego, if it is still there, I don't know what to say, but you must get rid of it completely. And collectively also ego should be driven out. Collectively. It's a thing that people are egoistical secretly within themselves, but sometimes it shows. It's a very subtle, nonsensical disease that people have, and they just indulge into it. On this day of Guru Puja, I have to say now that one has to work very hard. Very hard. The most important thing is how much you have dedicated your life, your time to Sahaja. Then only you will achieve that state of Guru. Look at me, I am a housewife and I have my family's responsibilities, problems. But despite that, I'm all the time thinking about Sahaja Yogi, Sahaja Yoga, and all that is this emancipation of human beings in the whole world. Not only here or there, in the whole world. So that should be your widened vision, not for only your school, college, or university, or this or that, but a very wider vision one should have. And that you have to develop through your working into every time of circumstances, every type of problems you have. Once you develop that kind of a personality, then you'll be amazed how you can help so many people. I know there are so many Sahaja Yogis here who are worthy of praise, and really I love them very much, and they also love me very much. But one should always see that as you are now going to be the gurus, you have to be careful not to think that you are a guru. You should never think you are a guru already. Once you start thinking again, Mr. Ego, the guru, comes up. So once you decide that I am nothing, I am just a little ripple in the heart of my mother. If such a humble feeling you get, then all your problems can be solved and things will work out. Because your attention and your behavior is going to impress other people. Nothing else. Whatever you may try, it is you who is going to get Sahaja Yoga further. There is so much to be said about how to become a good guru and all that, but I think I'll keep it for next Guru Puja. Thank you very much.